All right. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric. We're going to be doing another Devs deck tonight. This is a Gruul Nikya deck. It's definitely a Timmy deck, if you are familiar with the three types of Magic players. We've got some huge monsters we're going to be slamming down. That's pretty much all this deck is just huge, big, take over the game cards that everyone wants to cast. When you've seen these cards printed, you were like, that's it. How do I cast that? How do I make that work? Well, Dev's given that a shot here in his Gruul Nikya deck. Hope you guys like it. If you do, give it that thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out the deck tech from Dev, don't forget to hit that information box above. It'll give you a link over to Dev, and you can watch his deck tech. But for now, I'm going to jump into it. I do want to say that if you want to play this deck on MTGO, if you want to play any deck on MTGO, you should check out manatraders. They're a rental service so that you can get all the cards you need for no matter what deck that you want to play. And it's a pretty good service. I've been using it for a little over a year and a half now, and I've been really satisfied with it. Getting the access to all of the cards right after a set comes out seems to be the greatest thing in the world, because you don't know what you want to go buy, you don't know what you want to spend your wild cards on, and just being able to test with decks is just wonderful. So I highly recommend manatraders. If you sign up, don't forget to use the coupon code. It'll help the stream out, it'll help me out. So yeah, use the coupon code Sideboard MTG Hybrid. It'll save you 15% on your first 3 months when you sign up. So, right. So let's talk a little bit about this massive creature deck, right? So I mean, if we just start at the top end of this thing, we've got Enraiser, Forerunners, we've got Ravager Worms, we've got Skargan Hellkites, which that's not like the most out of the question thing to cast. It's not out of the question to cast Nullhide Ferox or Goreclaw. But being able to get on into some of these Ravager Worms and Enraise Forerunners, because the number of big cards in this deck means that your opening hand is going to have some big bodies in it. So we're going to need a way to get there. And the number one way that we can get there is going to be using cards that help us get additional mana. We can do that with Land of War Elves. We can do it with Dryad Greenseeker. Not necessarily giving us additional mana, but making sure that we hit our land drops, which is going to be really important. We've got Draconic Disciple, which not only is this a mana dork that can easily come down the turn after Land of War Elves, but it's also a late game mana sink, allowing you to turn your once a 2/2 mana dork into a 5/5 flying dragon. So Draconic Disciple, not bad here. I actually played a little bit with this in the Arena starter deck that was red-green. I actually like the card. If you get into the late game, you can just take over the game with your Disciple, and it makes them have to use a removal spell. As soon as you get to 7 mana, they have to use a removal spell on your Disciple, otherwise it's about to become a serious threat. We've also got Elvish Rejuvenator. Now, this is going to give us a little bit of ramp, help us thin the deck, help us get to those land drops, that sort of thing. Not necessarily making our land drops, but making sure that we did get a land down that turn. And then we've got cards like Goreclaw, which is going to make the creatures that we do cast just that much cheaper to cast. Plus, it's got that extra little ability of giving all of our big bad dudes +1/+1, and they're going to gain trample until end of turn. So that's pretty cool. The only requirement is they need to have at least 4 power, and most of our creatures are going to meet that. It does say that when it attacks each creature you control with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 and gains trample. So that means even Goreclaw is going to get that. And just the mana reduction in these cards is absolutely awesome. We've got some Nullhide Ferox here. Now, this is a hexproof, and you can't cast non-creature spells, but if you look, there's not a lot of non-creature spells in the entire deck, and there's none in the main deck. So you're not hindering yourself at all with this. And yeah, I mean, someone could pay 2 mana to make it lose all of its abilities, so they could cast non-creature spells and make sure that they or so that you could cast non-creature spells, but you're going to lose hexproof, and if they're going to do that, they're more than likely going to be paying 6 mana for their Vraska's Contempt anyway, or 4 mana for their cast down, things like that. So that's where we're at on Nullhide Ferox. It's still a pretty good card, and if our opponent somehow makes us discard some cards somehow, then we could always just get this straight to the battlefield for free. I mean, free 6/6 doesn't seem too bad. And then we've got Vitrix Bladewing. I really want to kick this. I've actually cast this card quite a few times and never been able to kick it. I've never been able to get Vitrix's brother out, Karox. And I want to do that. I think that this would be a good deck for us to get a shot at that. But with all of this additional mana, having those mana dorks on the front end, and having cards like Nikya, which is the backbone to the whole deck in a sense, where no, we can't cast non-creature spells, but whenever you tap a land for mana, we're going to add an additional mana of any type that land produced. So mana's going to be doubled when we have Nikya out, and that means we can just dump that into our Hellkite. Just the Hellkite's just going to be flying around, just shooting fire everywhere. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We've also got Ravager Worm. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Ravager Worm, giving it Riot's going to be great. Giving it the extra +1/+1, or even giving it haste so that we can get in there. But when it enters the battlefield, we're going to be able to have it fight something, or we can destroy target land with an activated ability. So we've got a little bit of flexibility there with our Ravager Worm. It is a 6-drop, and we are running 4 of them, and we're also running 2 8-drops. So, I mean, we've got some big stuff going on here. But if we can get to these Enraged Forerunners, even Lana Worlds is going to become a little bit of a threat. So, pretty sweet interactions here. I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump over to the mana base the sideboard really quick. We've got some Lightning Mares. This is going to be great against mono blue, and with all of that mana, oh man, we can just turn this into just an absolute monster. With all the fire breathing that we could put onto it with our mana production, as long as we could produce enough red mana, of course. We've got Sarkhan's Unsealing. Now this is a non-creature spell, but like Dev said in his video, he plans on getting this down before he starts casting his Nullhide Feroxes and his Nikyas and things like that. We've also got Plaka Worm here in case we need to draw a little bit of, or gain a little bit of life, and buy ourselves a little bit of time. But once you get down to 7/7. They've got to have an answer for this, or things are about to get out of hand real quick. 7/7 with trample, awesome. We've got Territorial Allosaur. If you can kick this thing, it's coming down. It's going to do some fighting. 5/5 that gets to fight something when it enters the battlefield, almost assuredly will kill something. And then we've got Brontodon being able to destroy, just start naming important artifacts, and there you go. Or enchantments or artifacts, and there you go. Mainly enchantments, really. We've got Azakan Archer. This is great against mono blue, and that's pretty much the gist of it. We've got a couple Carl Harpooners here shooting things out of the sky. Again, mono blue just isn't going to be happy with this. And as far as the undergrowth part of it, like Deb said, that's probably just going to happen naturally, so we don't have to worry about it too much. So there you go. That's the deck. But I definitely like the idea of the deck. Would I run 4 Ravager Worms as my 6-drops? Probably not. I'd probably spread my threats out and give myself different options. But Ravager Worm seems like this is the right spot for it. So if you're going to be running Ravager Worm, then in a Nikya deck's probably where you want to be. So let's talk to chat for a few seconds here, and then we'll jump into some gameplay. Craterhoof Jr. Is that Enraged Forerunners? That's Enraged Forerunners, right? Craterhoof Jr. Yeah. Craterhoof Behemoth. What a thing. What a thing. Likely, but you still think it needs more cowbell. Everything needs more cowbell, man. Rekindling Phoenix would be great. Madness was talking about some other cards a moment ago. He was talking about X cost creatures like the Hydra that gets all the +1/+1 counters. You could pump so much mana into that thing. Plus it would just keep growing and growing and growing. And so there's just a ton of cards that you could put into this deck. So for sure, if you want to build a version of this deck, take all of your favorite big Timmy creatures, throw them in a deck, and go have some fun. When it works, it's going to be devastating. So let's see if we can make it work. There's a nasty Teamer Adept version of this with Biomancer's Familiar. Okay, so using creatures with Adapt on them and using Nikya to give yourself like well more than enough mana to activate the Adept on those. I can get that. I can get behind that. That seems good. And because it's Teamer, you automatically get to run Hydroid Crassus, I assume, which means that you just get more of everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could get behind that. Seems like that could be a thing. All right, let's see if we can find an opponent and see what happens here. What's up, Jeffrey Willig? How you doing, sir? Jizza, Dragon Lord, Be Informed, Ryan Jackson, Madness was here. I think I made him mad. Yeah, we'll move on. Kush Knight 2111. He's got a, what is that? Gishath as his picture. Wow. All right. So one of the things about a ramp deck is sometimes you end up with a bunch of ramp cards and nothing to really do with them. I assume that we're going to pull one of the big cards fairly soon. I'm willing to keep this hand. We're going to hit land drops. We've got Land of War Elves. We've got Draconic Disciple. Sure. I think that this is still good. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. Gruul Guildgate. Well, that's a thing. All right, so we'll drop down our Land of War Elf and see if he can shoot it. If he can shoot it, then we'll just play another one and move on. If he can't, see, there we go. We'll go for the Disciple. I assume that's probably the best way to go. Next turn we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough to cast the Ravager Worm, so maybe we just go Land of War into a Guildgate. I mean, he's going to be able to hit us with that Thief. There's a Nikya. Okay. So I could just play Nikya here. Yeah. And then we have backup. I mean, he's got to have an answer for Nikya, right? Do we just put him to the test to make him answer it? Sure. Answer Nikya. Sorry to get under your feathers there, Madness. Speaking of feathers, this flyer. He's going to get some big stuff off of us. It's got to get something big in 3 cards, right? I mean, how do you not get something big? By the way, guys, if you haven't gotten over to the Reddit to... Oh, man, there goes a Skargan Hellkite. What did he keep over a Skargan Hellkite? Oh, man. Hostage Taker on our Nikya. Well, that's just mean. I guess we kill the Hostage Taker. Okay. So I'm going to give it haste. We're going to have it fight the Hostage Taker. Maybe I should have it. Maybe I should have had it fight the Thief of Sanity. Maybe that was the right way to go. But at this point, I just want to start turning sideways here. Okay, he got our Nullhide Ferox. That's fair enough. So now he can't cast non-creature spells? Why would he do that? Forest. Alright, well, I didn't want to draw Forest. Alright, so if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is definitely the turn that we bring in the Gruul Gilgate. Oh, we have Nikya. We can do it anyway. Yeah, that's a ton of mana. Just a ton of mana. I'm just gonna pass. And then if he goes to do something, like this is not sorcery only, so. So he has to be able to kill the token. We block the thief. Now he has to, what, pay to get rid of the abilities off of Nullhide Ferox. That or he realizes what he's done with Nullhide Ferox and just scoops. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh, good old Ferox. Yeah. Right. He realizes what he done with the Nullhide Ferox. That now he can't cast non-creature spells. He scooped it up. Just scooped it up completely. Didn't even want to play game 2. He's like, forget that. I don't want to play against this big old deck that throws down monsters that are too big for anybody to deal with. Well, too bad. You just got timid. Yeah. 2/2 first strike. And what a name. 2/2 first strike. I like it. No dorks. No dorks. I mean, we can get into a Goreclaw on 4, but, I mean, we're not doing anything till turn 4. Assuming we get down Goreclaw on 4, it survives. We get into Nikya on 5. Enraiser on 6. Swing for... I mean, that's if everything goes right. Man. Need to stream on Mixer? Yeah, but Mixer's for, like, Xbox. Isn't it? I mean, I stream on Mixer from time to time when I'm, like, you know, playing with my squad a little bit. So, come back turn 6. Like, do we do that? Do we keep this? Like, no mana dorks seems bad. I would rather be holding a couple mana dorks, but, I mean, we've got 4 lands. I really like 4 lands. I'm going to risk it. We'll risk it for the biscuit. High risk, high reward, I guess, maybe. Pelt Collector. All right, we'll be dead by the time we get to turn 4. So we'll go ahead and bring in the Guild Gate. I guess next turn, if we still don't have a play, we bring in a Memorial, and then we're untapped from that point forward. We'll see what happens. Gore is the mana dork here. I can get behind that. What has he done? Stop me in my draw step? Come on, dude. What kind of madness is this? For the record, Madness, you're still allowed to correct me as much as you want. Just avoid it in chat to everyone else. We'll stick with that. Let the streamer have it. Just give the streamer hell. Alright, so, I mean, at least we get a play here. People play PC games on Mixer. Well, I've never looked into setting up Mixer or anything like that. I've got it set up on my Xbox. Like some of my friends stream a little bit on theirs, so we'll see. Like, do I just jump block here, or do I wait and allow that to just be even more damage later? Because he's got to be able to deal with his Gore Claw, right? Ooh. So if we go Nikya here, if we go Nikya, then next turn we'll have 12 mana. With 12 mana, we can go 4. Yeah, I go Nikya here. Like the ramp helped us out a ton. So yeah, we'll just have 12 mana. We'll just pretty much play everything, and then the turn after that, in raise 4 runners, and then just do work from there. At least Nikki will buy us a little bit of time, right? You can watch Mixer on your phone. Okay. More money. Well, I'd have to start streaming streaming Mixer enough that I could get to the point where it would be monetized. So I would have to build an entire audience there. Might not be impossible, but again, I don't 100% know if that's like the best way to go or not. Okay. So with 12 mana, we can go. I think we go Goreclaw first, right? Like, that's just straight up. We just go 2. Like, so if we play Goreclaw, now everything gets a lot cheaper. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because this will cost 3. This will cost 2. 3, 4, 5. Alright. So we go Skargan Hellkite. Let's go +1/+1 counter and go for the kill next turn. Cast with kicker on Vitrix Bladewing. Pass. Then we get to go in raise 4 runners and just murder him, right? That's got to be death. I'm not doing the math here, but we're like, okay, we're looking at in raise 4 runners enters the battlefield. Other creatures you control get +2/+2, gain vigilance and trample. Jeez. Swing, yeah. Next turn we swing for the fences. Okay, so this actually only costs, says 6 mana. This only costs 4 mana. We can create 12. Gee. This is ridiculous. We could shoot down some blockers. This is going to get out of hand. Scoop City population is about to increase. Yeah, well, he doesn't know about the in-race Forerunner yet. So what do we kill? Pelt Collector? Yeah, remove Pelt Collector as being a blocker. It's not like you're swinging, dude. You're not swinging into this. Really? You want to let me eat this Pelt Collector? Because I will. I will gobble that thing up. I'll feed it to one of my dragons. Or feed it to my centaur. Little elf. We use elf for fodder around here. Elves are fodder. Oh, man. Hey, Scoop. He ain't even going to let us do it. He ain't even going to let us do it. So next turn we would have been able to play. Hey, Scoops, too. Just done. We don't even want game 2. Forget game 2. I'm out of here. That deck was sick. I don't even want to play that. We're just sending people home. Right? Pack your bags. Put your decks back in your backpack. Go home. Timmy runs this show. I'm not keeping this hand. This hand's nowhere near as good as it should be. It feels good to be a Timmy every now and then, guys. Oh, and now we're going to see when it feels bad to be a Timmy. Okay, hopefully we got a green source on top. Sometimes it's bad to be Timmy. Like I said, when it works, it works. When it doesn't, oh man, we're gonna go down in flames. As powerful as everything was a moment ago, we're gonna be just that equally dead. I don't know though. I mean, if we can draw the game out somehow, I'm pretty sure our card quality is gonna be better than most of the things he's gonna have. So. Wild Growth Walker. This is nightmarish. A mulligan 5. Need that London mulligan. Just guaranteeing that we can do the crazy stuff that we want to do. So now what? We have to have a green source off the top that comes in untapped. Otherwise we're just pretty much destroyed. Alright. Yeah, I may not play much here. Like I'm just gonna pass the turn again, but I'm probably not gonna play much because right now he thinks we're mono red. Like he has no clue that we're green at all. So we can go into game 2. Yeah, that's another Merfolk Branchwalker. We can go into game 2. He won't have any true information. I'm good with not showing anything else. Even if we pull a green source here, I don't think I would play it. Right. All right. No point in letting him know what we've got going on. Okay, so Sarkhan's Unsealing is actually really good right here. I'm going to take out a I don't know. Ferox is probably going to be pretty good. Maybe just peel back on a Dryad Greenseeker. Allosaurus is probably going to be decent. Just turn 4, being able to throw down 5/5 seems real good. What else do we bring in? Like an Archer, maybe? I don't expect him to have a ton of flyers, but I mean he could have a couple flyers, and we may want to like Crawl Harpooner. Let's start calling him Cruel Harpooner. Cruel seems good. Cruel. Owl. I don't know. Whatever. Placaworm maybe. I don't know. I kind of want the Ravager Worm to be fighting things, so I don't think I'm gonna peel back on that. And we just bring in the Sarkhan's Unsealing because it's actually really decent in this matchup. Yeah, we'll run it like this. The other idea is bring in Allosaur, but like, what else do you bring in against Sultai? Maybe the harpooners. Like, that's what I'm thinking is, like, harpooners the other option. Sure, we'll just start throwing Ferox down and go from there. It's going to make things awkward if we do pull the Sarkhan's Unsealing later, but whatever. Alright, here we go. See if we can make this Sultai deck pack up his bags and go home too. What? Green source? No way. Remember, he thought we were mono red, or he only knew that we were like mono red game 1, so. See, I thought the next emoji should be a scoop. Right? You know, just like, you know, a Raisin Bran scoop with... I call them a seed scoop, but whatever. I grew up in a farming community, and when you go buy seeds, they just have big piles of seeds, and you scoop out the seeds. But I guess it could be a raisin scoop. Chat and cam are frozen. What? Stupid webcam. We back? There we go. I don't think chat's frozen. What? We hit nothing off the Rejuvenator? Wow. Whatever. Now, he did draw a Watery Grave off of his... You still want the Pepe emoji. You guys in the Pepe emoji. You're all about the Pepe emoji. Alright. I'll look. We'll see what we can find. We still got to get, I think... Well, so far I haven't unlocked the next emoji yet, or the community hasn't grown enough to have the next emoji. Believe it or not, we're actually to the point where if I change an emoji, I would lose an emoji. So I need to thaw my face out again. I'll just sit here really still and try to be a ventriloquist. No, I can't do it without moving my mouth. I just don't make a good ventriloquist. I mean, if we start playing 6/6s... And I would easily trade this Elvish Rejuvenator for the Merfolk Branchwalker. So the Branchwalker's not swinging, and Jadelight's not swinging. It's the moving stash that gives it away. Fair enough. Anyway, we'll quit. We'll quit. I ain't gonna lie, Jizza. It like that orange logo you got there, man. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. All right, so I've got the brakes on for now with the Nullhide Ferox. I could take this opportunity to throw down a bunch of little dudes, so I could do even more things later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green Seeker would give me the option to like dig for some lands. Yeah, I'm actually gonna take a turn off to throw down some bodies. We'll get a Draconic Disciple down, and then next turn we'll be able to hopefully hit a land drop, play a Nullhide Ferox, play another Draconic Disciple. So we'll see. You know, I haven't either. I there's moments where Green Seeker is good, and if I was trying to thin the deck out a ton, then I would really be about Green Seeker. So there's been a few decks in the past where it was okay, but um, yeah, Finale is gonna hurt. Well, we're a couple turns off of Finale, and if all goes well, then I mean Finale doesn't kill a Nullhide Ferox. And Finale won't kill a 5/5 dragon. And again, we're a couple turns off of that. So, and he's only gotten the Watery Grave, which he's already played. He's still got a Vivian Reed that he hasn't been able to play. See, look, he's all worried about being able to. We hit our land drop anyway. It did ruin things, though. I needed that mana that I could create off the Draconic Disciple. I mean, if you really cared about the Disciple that much. I'll wait. And now at end of turn, or if he goes to target something, we can Dryad Green Seeker here. What are you going to take? So maybe I should have put a stop in my upkeep and start doing this in my upkeep as well to avoid getting more land. Yeesh. He wants the dragon. Alright, so I'll do that. I'll stop in my upkeep, and we'll just start using Dryad Greenseeker on his end turn, and then we'll do it in our upkeep to see if we can avoid Wild Growth Walker. Okay. Jade Light Ranger. We know he's got that Vivian Reed. He just got another land. He pitched the... So he's got an Overgrown Tomb that I accidentally scratched out. Finale would hurt him a lot too, because he can only choose to save one thing here. I would love a Ravager Worm off the top. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Sure. I mean, we go for some trades here. We're not dead on the backswing. Yeah, I'm just going to swing with everything here. I mean, so there's a couple things he could do. I mean, he can use a Jade Light Ranger to trade with a Rejuvenator. But everything else doesn't have really good trades. The Wild Growth Walker could actually eat the Rejuvenator, but it doesn't eat the Green Seeker. And there's a ton of damage coming his way right now. So here we go, right? Like, This is pretty much our Timmy all in go. Craterhoof Jr. Okay, so he is going to Wild Growth Walker, block. I'm expecting him to double up on some things here. The problem is he doesn't really have enough to double up on a ton of things. And we're going to go ahead and pull the top card here. I mean, we're still left with a 6-6 and a 7-7. I did partial math, right? A little bit of math, kinda. This is his revealed cards. We'll put them up there on his side of the board. Is the hostage taker taking my Enraged Forerunner? What? Now I need to top deck a Ravager Worm. Oh my goodness, give me a Ravager Worm. There's 4 in the deck. Just give me a Ravager Worm. Just give it to me. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Give me a Ravager Worm. I'll have it fight that hostage taker, and then we'll just... Oh! Don't be a douchebag. We're here for magic. Ha! Mm! So was he Enraged Forerunners me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's still a couple turns off. I mean, he did get back some like Jade Light Rangers and other stuff, so. Yeah, we got another turn. Right, we've still got another turn. I mean, he's going to gain some life, of course, and he's going to get this big Wild Growth Walker. And we know he still has at least 1 land in hand plus this forest. And he's got a cast down. Or is it no, the cast down's on top of the library right now. Cast down's on top. So we still have 1 turn to get to this. To the Ravager Worm off the top. For good times. It won't necessarily be game right now, but it'll be good times. Hostage taker. Gee. He should probably swing with that Wild Growth Walker this turn. Yeah. Really? I would totally be taking this opportunity to get in with that Wild Growth, but I understand. Here we go. I mean, sure. There's pretty much nothing else we can do. Yeah, last turn would have sealed the deal. Last turn it would have won. Um, now we're just kind of, yeah. Now he's got too many. Yep. GG, sir. GG. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, he took us hostage. That's what happened. Hey, this... Oh, man. Somebody else took the opponent and said his name was not very good. I bet he's really good. I bet it's a ploy. You're taking this too far, madness. Uh... The only thing I said anything about was being a grammar Nazi, man. That's it. That's all I said. It's all good, dude. You're the one that's making this so much more. Well, it was relevant, so I hit the rules exclamation point thing. But you're right. There's nothing in the rules, and this is not like Twitch where people joining the chat for the very first time have to like see this thing saying, "Hey, look, these are the rules." YouTube hasn't done that yet, which is actually a really good thing. Like maybe YouTube should do something along those lines, kind of like Twitch does. That's a really good point. Where people entering the chat need to be able to see the rules before they enter the chat, and things like that. So, I mean, yeah, you're bringing up a really good point. So, quote madness. I have such a hard time. Well, this is a horrible quote. So, paraphrasing madness. I don't know when you're being serious or when you're joking. Alright, so enter upkeep. We're going to look for a land. Make sure there's no land here. Because if it's going to be a land, we want to just... Alright, it's a Nikya. Nikya. And then we'll just do that in our upkeep every time. You think this deck goes bigger than Gates? You want to see a worm? You want to see a Verm? I don't know what we're going to do with the Verm, though. It's hard to get bigger than this thing. This thing gets out of hand. Alright, come on. I don't know what we're going to do with it. Like, play a Barox? Yeah, sure, we'll take that. Rejuvenator... Like, as of right now, we cannot Ravager Worm kill the Gatebreaker Ram. I mean, we could swing into the Gatebreaker Ram with a couple things, make the Gatebreaker Ram take a little damage, then play a Ravager Worm. But we still need to hit more land. Like, this deck does not want to miss a land drop. Oh my goodness. So maybe that's something we should definitely take away from this is like when we're playing these big Timmy decks and things like that that we don't want it to get like we don't want to miss land drops at all. Oh, Ram is so good. Oh, it's so good. These sheep. It's got vigilance, dude. Just do it. Just swing. Just kill me. Yo, the sheep's gonna eat us for dinner. That's happening. There's a Gore Claw. I mean, that's playable. Absolutely, Scott. I mean, it's Gruul's got to curve out. So I get the feeling there's going to be a bunch of people that are mad because I'm doing the Timmy joke, right? It's not really a joke. It's pretty well known that Magic R&D named that there were three major types of players. Most people fit into one of these three categories or a combination of the three categories. It's Timmy, Johnny, and Spike, right? Timmy just he sees these Ravager worms and this Enraged Forerunner and cannot force himself to not put this in his deck, right? We all know those type of people that they see this big creature and we're always going, you're never going to cast that, dude. You're going to be dead before you ever get that off. And it's true. Like, that's a legit thing. Man, I think I kill one of these here. I think I take my chances and I double block and I kill one of these. Anyway, so you've got Timmy who loves big creatures and likes to play these big decks. That's one personality type is Timmy. The next personality type is Johnny. He likes to have complex ways. He doesn't feel good if he didn't win, by putting this and this and this onto the battlefield. Like most of your combo players are normally Johnnies. But then again, Johnny is also anyone who wants to put together a sweet deck and go from there. Like, so if you like to build your own decks and you like to brew and you like to have interaction and you like synergy in your deck, then you're a Johnny. Of course it's a Gates Ablaze. And then the last type is Spike. Spike doesn't care, alright? Spike don't care what the deck is. It could be this deck. If it's the #1 deck, if it will win, Spike's gonna play it. He don't care if it's a big creature deck. He doesn't care if it's a combo deck. He doesn't care if it is Sultai, like whatever. Actually, he would probably just be playing Sultai or Nexus of Fate or something like that, because Spike just wants to play tier 1. That's all Spike cares about. He just wants to play a good deck, right? And so when you guys hear me say, Timmy, Johnny, or Spike, I'm not doing the Rudy Timmy. Like, for those of you that know who Rudy is, from Trashfire Investments, if you know who Rudy is, you get that joke. He's got 3% female viewers, guys. Okay? He's got 3%. 3.168%. I'm sure that's 100% correct by Rudy's terms. Anyway, let's sideboard real quick. What do we want versus Gates? Well, I've got to bring in Brontodon, right? Because, like, we've got to be able to destroy some stuff. He's probably not going to have many flyers. We've got, like, no way to kill these Rams. Like, we've got to win this fight. I don't think Dryad Greenseeker does the job. I'm bringing in the Sarkhan's Uncillion because I want a little reach. You never heard of those terms before? Do I know where those come from? Mark Rosewater. I am sure somebody can find a video of the Timmy, Johnny, Spike personalities. It's as old as Magic. Mark Rosewater's been in Magic for like 25 years or something like that. It's crazy. Yeah, I keep this, and that's where I originally heard those terms, and I've always referred to the three different types of Magic players as Timmy, Johnny, and Spike. So, but Rudy calls a Timmy, like a South Park Timmy, right? So, but yeah. Okay, so you're a Spike, but the Johnny side of you wants to put in some super secret tech, right? Okay, there you go. So Scott Clark here is giving you guys an example. He likes to play tier 1 decks, but he wants to throw his own super secret tech in there that nobody's going to be ready for, and that's the Johnny side of him coming through, to the spike. So he's going to be playing a tier 1 deck, but he's going to have his own tech in there. See, I like that. That's a perfect example. Madness said that he was a Timmy Johnny with just an ounce of spike. So he wants to play a good deck. He wants to play a deck that wins, but he wants to be on his own terms, right? So with these three personalities, you can really build a lot on the different types of people that play Magic the Gathering. So some of you are going to be mad about the Timmy thing, and if you're mad about it, it's because you watch Rudy. All right, don't get mad at me because you watch Rudy. Okay, Rudy uses Timmy in a whole nother way. I'm using it in the classic 3 types of Magic players. All right, so I probably lost subscribers with my opening word, Timmy, because that's the South Park Timmy. But I can't help it. I'm a Timmy. Did you guys not see how much fun I was having the first couple games? Just slamming big dudes. This is so much fun. I'm definitely I'm a Johnny with some Timmy tendencies, right? I tend to run some cards that I probably should not be running just because it's fun. It's fun. Also, you're a mono red player at heart. Oh, Scott. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. There's nothing wrong with being a mono red player. I really want to hit this Goreclaw next turn, but yeah, I'm gonna go for the Goreclaw next turn, or maybe a Vitrix Bladewing, because these flyers are gonna be what's gonna get us to where we want to be. And I'd like to see it because next turn he can just come down with a Gates Ablaze, and a Gates Ablaze would just get rid of Land of War Elf, Draconic Disciple, and then we're gonna be like, what? We do need some more red mana. You have a mono white deck built for the fun. There you go. Trey Williams, you're a Johnny with some Timmy tendencies. That's me, buddy. That's me. But sometimes my Johnny decks end up becoming really, really good decks, and a lot of people think I'm a spike. But most of the time I try to pick a non... I like to pick... for my personal decks that I like to take to F&M and things, I usually like to take a tier 1.5 deck. Just because a lot of people will be, more practiced and ready for the tier 1 decks and things, and there's usually a lot more to pick from them, the tier 1.5 decks. You usually don't have to deal with as much of, well, you should have played this, and that deck doesn't have this in it. And with the tier 1.5 deck, you can usually get away with that a little bit easier. Oh, man. This is going to go so bad. I mean, he had to open the gates to be able to get down the Izzet Guild Gate. So I could Vitrix Bladewing here. And get a Land of War Elf down. Which means he would have to play a gate and a Gates Ablaze to be able to hit it. I'm going to go for Vitrix. And Lano. Slam the Hellkite with a counter. I was thinking that for next turn. I'm really trying to fish out that Gates Ablaze, and I think that putting this onto the battlefield should be just enough to get the Gates Ablaze. If he's going to cast it, this should be enough, right? Where has Tier 1 Jank been? Haven't seen him in a hot minute. What? I did take 2 weeks off, right? So, there's that. I'm sure he'll be around. We do have a lot of not necessarily new faces, but a lot more faces here in the crowd. So it's got Vigilance and Trample, but it does not have. Man, that Gates Ablaze is going to be so bad. All right, so Hellkite. with counter. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit devastating. Can go Goreclaw, then Hellgate. Oh, I could have. You're right. I messed that up, didn't I? That was a 100% mistake. I forgot Goreclaw with the -2. I did not calculate in the -2. Huge mistake. Thank you, Jacob. I mean, there's some argument to not like adding too much to the board when we're like looking for the Gates Ablaze, but yeah, this is about to happen. He pays for it, then he Gates Ablaze, and then our board's wiped. If this is a Gates Ablaze right here, it's over. Colossus, okay, okay. This is acceptable. One, two, three, four. Get a land off the top. I guess I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Goreclaw. Like I wanted to shoot something with the Sarkin, with the Hellkite. I'm just gonna pass. Right. I mean, at least with Gates Ablaze, we can get him one activation. The problem is it's 4 points of damage, and yeah. Deafening Clarion, that's not cool. So now we're just dead. So we don't have blockers. Right. Deafening Clarion got us. Shoot you. Yeah, he's got lifelink. He's going to do 15 points of damage here. Like it's meet the Gates deck. Lava Coil's in your Gruul deck. Yeah, I think Lava Coil's still in a really good spot. As long as Sultai's still doing its thing, then Lava Coil's in a good spot. So no blue decks. This dude's got in his details here. No blue decks. Wait, you don't want to play Magic? Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. So what'd you think? I've got to get our Sub Sunday together. So with Sub Sunday, we're going to be playing. I'm going to go pull the decks like right now. Captivating Audience. Oh, okay. Captivating Audience would be pretty interesting. Sir Eccles, your phone's dying. Take care, sir. So I'm going to be putting Sub Sunday together. So go vote on those decks, things like that. and I'll pull those. We'll get the cards pulled. We'll play those here very shortly. But for now, let's talk a little bit about what you thought about this this sweet deck. I assume you're talking about the dude who didn't want to play against blue, right? Yeah, Lava Coil is a really good option. Like, I don't like Dryad Greenseeker here. But I get that, you know, you can't really run Lava Coil and things like that because we're all on the Nullhide Ferox plan. I mean, this deck was built to go, you know, extreme in one direction, right? You know, we're going extreme on the creature side of things and, like, almost nothing on the non-creature side of things. If you started building your Gruul deck to where it had, you know, some creature spells, some non-creature spells, then you're probably not going to want to be on 4 Nikyas and 4 Nullhide Ferox. You might end up over here on, like, that's a horrible Gruul aggro list. I'm sorry. I don't have a Gruul aggro list pulled up. But you get what I'm saying. Like, if you're wanting to put in Lava Coils and things like that, then you're probably not wanting, you know, 8 cards that say you can't cast that Lava Coil. So, yeah, all in all, though, the deck was super fun. Like, when it happens, it is just devastating. Like, the power level is just devastating. The problem I can foresee happening is, you know, you do end up in that late game, and they have been able to 1-for-1 you because Cast Down does so much work here. They've been able to 1-for-1 you or something like that. They've been able to counter your spells and that sort of thing. Then you're just sitting there on the top deck, and you're either hitting lands or you're hitting Land of War Elves and Dryad Greenseekers and Elvish Rejuvenators. You know, there's a lot of dead cards in the late game, but that's necessary. Otherwise, you're not even going to get to that late game. So, all in all, I like the idea of the Nikya deck. Do I think its power level is, you know, spike worthy? No. You know, on the scale of Timmy to Spike, this is all the way on the Timmy side of things. Which is not a really good scale. It should be more like a triangle, right? Right. Whatever. Anyway, all in all, the deck was pretty interesting. I liked it. You could definitely play around with the numbers, tweak things, and put some other cards in, and have some fun with it. If you've got these cards and you want to put them together and you want to have some fun with some friends, you're playing some big dudes, and when it works, it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be like, and I'm doing this. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this. Just go back and check out some of the games we did in the beginning. It was a ton of fun. And it worked really great. So. You would also put in District Guide in place of Rejuvenators. Okay, so you actually want to play your lands. You don't want to ramp any. Okay. I can get behind that on some aspects. I also like the 2/2 body of District Guide, but I like the ramp. I'm a fan of Rejuvenator myself. I really like the Rejuvenators, and I think especially when you're trying to hit these big creatures, being able to cast Ravager Worm on turn 5, being able to cast Nikya on turn 4, these are things that I look forward to. Being able to cast things early seems like it's really, really good. Plus, you know, I don't know. Oh, you also said you would run Incubation Druid. See, Incubation Druid might be the 2-drop you're looking for. Yes. Okay. So, Jizzy, were you the one that was talking about Ooze earlier? I think Ooze would be devastating in this deck. Like, Ooze seems like it would just take over. I get Dev was trying to stay cheap. That's why we were running Guild Gates. That's why, you know, we didn't have some other cards in here. But I think if you really wanted to up the game on this deck a little bit, you would run some Oozes in the deck for sure. I mean, you've got all that mana, and the Ooze just seems like it'd be the way to go, right? As far as Dryad Greenseeker, yeah, that would probably be a really good trade out with Dryad Greenseeker versus Incubation Druid, or maybe even Chamber Growth Guardian or Growth Chamber Guardian, or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely some other ways you could go with this if you had a little bit more money to stick into the deck. So all in all, though, I enjoyed the deck. I thought the deck was a lot of fun. Matter of fact, I had a tremendous amount of fun playing it. I really did. Like the fun level of just, okay, so it didn't work. Scoop it up. Let's go. We knew it wasn't going to work all the time, right? But when it did, it was just devastating. So I don't have another word for that. It was devastating. Like, we had people just scoop it up and didn't even want to go to another game, right? Like, nope, I'm not playing against that crap. So yeah, exactly. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to help support the channel, hit the join button. It's going to ask you for money. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I've got. I'm going to get our Sub Sunday together. We'll see you guys back here shortly, around 9:30ish Central Time. I've got it at 9:02 right now, so about 28 minutes from now, hopefully I'll have the decks pulled and back up. So yeah, that's all I've got. I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, hit that like button. It helps out so much. Doesn't cost you anything. And we'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. Thank you, Jeffrey. I know you like this one. This is a Jeffrey deck for sure. Like, Jeffrey's a Timmy with some spike in him, right? When the Timmy deck is good, Jeffrey's all over it, man. He was whooping tail with that mono green last time. So, anyway, I know you love some mono green, and yeah, I did too. I playing big stuff. Like, could we squeeze Galta in here? We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.